Hi, Maresa.
Hello.
It's nice to be here in your office and to actually talk to you about something that's been brewing, right?
Yeah. Been brewing for about 9 months.
Okay. Okay. So it's time to come out.
It's time to come out, and we've been so excited about it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So, I would like to introduce Maresa as a good friend of mine that I have known for some time now.
Thank you.
But I would also like to introduce her as a business coach and a speaker, an entrepreneur. But in her own words, who is Maresa?
Who is Maresa?
Yeah.
So you want the business version or the personal version?
I want both versions. I want both versions.
The both versions. Okay. So the business version and the one that goes onto the websites and all my videos is well, I'm a business coach. I'm also an entrepreneur. I run several businesses on my own. I put a lot of my successes and my failures into the things that I teach and to educate and coach business owners forward. I'm also a speaker, of course. Some people would say, professional speaker, trained. But for me, I just like speaking. So I find myself on stage a lot. With any opportunity, whether it's an hour or 3 days, do love to share.
Okay.
And so I go around Asia. I do a lot of training for the new coaches that come into our company. So I find myself doing that in Vietnam and Japan. And so those are some of my speaking engagements. But on a personal front, who am I? Who am I when I'm not on the video camera? Because some of this, the typical stuff that you hear all the time, it's everywhere on the site. But for me, I enjoy playing hard as I do working hard. Actually, sometimes the parts that people don't see, I get a lot of these comments as well. Maresa, you play? And when I put this photo of me. There was this photo of me chewing on my rock climbing shoe because I bought a new rock climbing shoe, and then I was biting the shoe because it bit me earlier. When I climbed it bit me. And so people are like, Maresa, you actually have fun? They don't believe that. So the person that I am off camera, off work is play. I love climbing, I love cycling, I love the nature, I love getting dirty, I love hiking. I do a lot of that. I have a huge social circle of people that I do all this outdoor stuff with, and some of them are in business, and then we share a lot together. But aside from that, and that's one of the reasons why I wrote Great Business, Great Life. I wrote Great Business, Great Life because I felt that a lot of people were missing out the great life part. Oh, great business, yes. And then after that, and that was me a little bit.
Okay.
It was me a little bit. I kind of missed out a little bit of that great life part. I had a great business. It was fantastic. It was awesome. I was doing a lot of training. Had a lot of good partners to work with, and then I realized that I was just kind of missing out on the life part. How I knew was I was going through some old photos on Facebook. How these old photos on Facebook come up?
Yeah.
And then your memories from 7 or 8 years ago, or 12 years ago, very long ago.
Yeah.
And I'm going, wow, I did this. I did dragon boating.
Yeah.
I dragon boated.
Wow.
And
I never would have guessed.
Yeah, you would never guess that, right?
I would never have guessed that.
And we set up, we entered into a women's team.
Okay.
Corporate women's team. It's very hard to compete with the guys because they're very strong. So we had to go into the right category.
Okay.
And we won second place.
Wow.
That was like 8
years?
or 9 years ago.
Okay.
And then I counted, and that was the time when I just started my business. But after that, when I started getting busy, all of that stopped. I can't remember when I have all these things on my bucket list, to scale up, even Gua Mulu, just Twin Peaks, that's just East Malaysia, and it's so near but so far.
Yeah.
Because of not making the time for the great life part. And so I brought a lot of that back, and then when I brought all of that back, I felt that I was so energized. I had so much fun in business.
Okay.
And I realized that as I spoke to more people, a lot of people were missing that part out too.
So let's talk a little bit since
Yeah.
you gave a very good introduction to the book. So this is the book. This is Maresa's second book.
Yeah.
Okay,
Second
let me-
baby.
Second
9
baby.
months.
Let's show the first baby. Okay, this is the first baby. This is the first baby. Okay. So when did this book come out? The first baby?
This first baby was 2014.
Okay.
Now is a big girl now. She's about 4 years old.
Okay. So
big
it's time
girl.
for a second baby, right?
Second baby.
Okay. So the second baby is called Great Business, Great Life.
Yeah.
So one of my key questions is, okay, what's different besides the one you said? Like these are two different babies, right?
Yeah.
Same mother, two different babies.
Yeah. Same
Okay.
same mother, two different
Okay.
babies.
Okay.
This book is more, the first baby are more for the startups,
Okay.
people who want to start a business, and of course then there's a guide to starting a business. But the second baby, Great Business, Great Life, are more targeted toward people that have been in business for a while. They've probably been in business for about 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, and then they're kind of, so they're mature businesses, been
Okay.
around for a while,
Okay.
and then they're kind of wondering, what am I doing with my business? What am I doing with my life? And so they read this book to repivot themselves,
Okay.
to repivot, to help help their lives get more out of business. You see, one of the things that a lot of people ask me, Maresa, I'm not getting a lot out of my business.
Yeah.
And so I asked them one question, what do you want out of your life?
Yeah.
And they say, no, Maresa, you did not hear me clearly. I'm not getting what I want out of my business. I go,
Yeah.
I heard you the first time,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
what do you want out of your life?
Yeah.
Why is that a more important question? Is because if we know what we want out of life, we know how the business needs to be designed to support our life.
Okay.
And when we don't know what the business should be giving us, actually it's because we have not been intentional designing the life that we want. And then we go along with it. We go along with the whole, there are a lot of videos on and articles and sorts of collateral and motivational speakers that are saying, success, get bigger, get faster, go big or go home. But there's nothing wrong with small.
Yeah.
We've got to just, it's not about big. It's not about listed. It's not about, and I wonder where we create these sorts of standards for ourselves. And that's why Great Business, Great Life came about, is because we need to have clarity with an intention and the objective of our life, and the business supports whatever the objective is.
Okay.
Not just going along with the flow, and just sometimes we get caught up with that whole success thing.
Yeah.
And
When
then
they
we
haven't even defined success.
We haven't even defined
Yeah.
success for ourselves of life. And for me, success is not just money. And I went down that route, of course, and that's one of the most difficult things about writing this book, is that I went down that route of success, money, profitability, and then I still felt a vacuum. I still felt a vacuum. I still felt a vacuum because I was missing out that great life part, the cycling, the dragon boating. Yes, you just took it over. The dragon boating and setting up this team and just going, and doing stuff that I could not imagine.
Okay.
And a lot of that I kind of lost. I would be very upfront, and that's why I wrote this book, because my journey in business is not just today, tomorrow, 5 years, and then I'm done. Sell this thing and boom. My journey in business is actually for life. I think it's been like that for us.
Yeah.
And so that sustainability is so important, that we're happy.
Yeah.
And I kind of missed a little bit of that.
I think at the end of it, it comes down to being happy,
Yes.
right? I mean,
Oh.
success is good if you can define what you want,
Yeah.
but eventually we want to be happy.
Yeah.
And if we can't find happiness,
Yeah.
no matter how much of success you attain or
Yeah.
what other people tell you that you're successful,
Yes. Yes.
it's not fulfilling.
It's not fulfilling. And you see, the thing is that we're not, I'm not here to tell you, I'm not here to say that we must build our business and then have something happy elsewhere. Like, some people are really happy with building the business.
Yeah.
Like for me, when I look at you, Krista, you inspire me a lot as well. I see the happiness in the ventures that you have, traveling around the world.
Okay.
And you're playing
Okay.
those cards, and I'm like, wow, and I can see that, and I love that.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I am also very happy in my business, but I also know that there is so much more to
Yeah.
to life.
Yeah.
the social, the community work, and family.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get so caught up with, and this is one of the things that I wrote in my book. It blew me away that I knew the airport gates more than I knew some of the new furniture my mother bought.
Okay.
And I'm like, Mom, when did you get that? Months before. I'm like, really? When did you get that blender? Months. Almost a year. I'm like,
Okay.
really? It's either I'm
Yeah.
not. It's either I was not observant or
Or he came and you weren't around.
he came and I wasn't around,
Yeah.
or it was that long. I haven't
Yeah.
been around. I could recognize the local domestic airport more than I could recognize my mother's house. So that's when it was quite a bit.
I think part of the reason why we kind of click so well is we have similar values. I believe that. I mean, through our friendship and over the years, and we've been talking to each other for a long time now, we know
Totally.
that business is part of your life. It is not your entire life. It doesn't have to be. And you don't have to be like the hamster on the wheel all the time, running and still figuring out like you want to get somewhere, but where? Where is the where?
Yeah.
The where is now.
The way is now, and it's
Yeah.
entirely up to us.
Yeah.
And what I get so concerned about is that we've got a lot of our youths and people out there that are consuming this success, wealth more, and I'm not sure if they know where it kind of ends.
Yeah.
And what the cost is and what the stakes are. I mean, for me, I don't. We don't coach people to just keep going and building and building and building. The first thing that we do is we always identify, what is your life about? What do you really want? What are your goals in business? We understand all those, because for me as a coach, it's so important that I'm not coaching you based on my goals.
Yeah.
Sometimes I find, and I catch myself.
Yeah.
No, why don't you do this? Why don't you franchise? Why don't you? But
The Heidi.
the idea, don't you want more? My gosh, you got such a great business. Don't you want to do that?
Yeah.
And then early in my coaching years, I used to do that. And then after a while, look, it's their goals. It's
Yeah.
exactly how they want to build it,
Yeah.
and it's okay.
That's wisdom.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, you checked yourself.
Yeah.
Right? You got to the stage where you realize that you have to step out of yourself
Yeah.
in order not to influence or get the outcome that you want.
Yeah.
But it's their outcome, right? It's not your outcome.
It's their business, their outcome, their life, and it's not important what I want for them. It's more important what they want for themselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Coming back to the book, I want to ask you a question.
Yeah. Shoot.
We look at the book and we see this as the end result.
Okay.
Okay. So we want to know, what was the process like of writing this book?
Okay.
How did of course you had your inspiration to write the book,
Yeah.
right, based on what you saw of yourself and how you've been growing your own business and what other people needed. But what was the process like? Were there challenging parts, difficult parts, fun parts, annoying parts? and you said 9 months. It took you 9 months to
9 months.
to pen this book, right?
Yeah.
But what was the process like? Get us into Maresa's work habit, ethic, routine of writing this book.
Yeah. I think that's really interesting. I think one of the most difficult parts, let me start with the good, bad, and ugly. Let me talk about the difficult parts of writing this book.
Yeah.
I think the toughest part of writing this book is that I had to ensure that to a certain extent I was living the photo at the bottom.
Okay.
I needed to.
I'm gonna show this to camera so they can see what the photo at the bottom was.
A lot of people, and some of you may know me, I'm the photo at the top. She's this business woman, she's out there and she's conquering and she's ambitious and she's wow. But then I wanted to make sure that I live that first. I mean, my own version of great life. I mean, not anybody else's version, but my own version. And I needed to make sure that to a certain extent I was doing that before I could write this book. For me, I